You are now listening to Hong Kong 2, the only podcast sanctioned by People's Republic of China, featuring Chris Lynch and Benjamin Taylor.
The camera settings we're using are I bought the camera and I didn't adjust any settings because I'm not really a camera person. I know I should be, but I'm not. And Alex Lucarini messed around with the camera, and hopefully this episode is going to be looking like 8K.
This is the Lucarini camera.
Camera
debut.
It's a work in progress, but it's hopefully going to be nice and good.
This is where all of them happen, right?
This is
all the podcasts.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I pictured. Okay, I pictured I don't actually want to spoil this for anybody else, but basically I pictured different shit over here, and that's different, and then the outside I pictured I made a whole world.
That was awesome.
Fake.
That's the beauty of that's
theater of the mind.
You have a good imagination. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I filled it in.
It's weird. It's weird. This is weird. Well, first of all, before I even say it, we have Ryan Katsu Rivera here in the building.
Cheers.
And we are here
Ryan.
on.
Actually, cheers.
Cheers, sir.
Is today Good Friday?
Today is Good Friday.
Today is Good Friday. I should not be drinking.
No, you could drink on Good Friday, I think.
Yeah. Well, if all the fucking Jews can have all those loopholes, then I think I can too.
Bro.
Just kidding.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
Did you mark
do
it?
I need do I need to censor? No, that's fine.
Dude,
I don't know if I need to censor Jews in the first
It's just funny that you'd say something like that, because
anyways, what I was going to say was my ex-girlfriend, because she had known me from the internet, but she made a 1-to-1 replica of my house in The Sims.
That's awesome.
Just solely off of reference from this podcast.
Really?
Dude.
Wow.
And it was pretty accurate.
Wow.
Bro.
And it was it was
epic.
I was like, oh, that's so cute. But it was like, oh wow, that's really detailed.
And then you should have said, check it out. I made your house an Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And
Even
it's
though
legit.
Yeah.
And
I was like, Chicken Jockey.
Jockey.
We have to go see that movie as a team.
Tell Ryan about the reel that I just sent you on Instagram.
We're just gonna have to watch it on break. It's just a really funny meme that I don't even want to interrupt the momentum.
You don't want to spoil it.
Is it Minecraft related?
It's about the Minecraft movie,
nice.
which none of us have seen yet.
Chicken Jockey.
I haven't seen it either. You know who saw it? Wait, can I? Lucarini, we call him that publicly, or is that literally his last name?
Alex Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his last. Alex Lucarini. Yeah.
But does he want that full name out there?
Well, that's fine. Yeah,
okay.
It's just
Alex Luke. I'll call him.
Oh, Alex Luke. Yeah, he goes by Alex Luke. But now we have Luke, and then Al.
He got his name taken away 3 times.
Yeah,
he's Alex, and then there was an Alex, and then he's like, "I'll be Luke," and then there's a Luke.
Thank God your name's Ryan. We've never had a Ryan, so
that's true.
It's easy, and we have a Kyle.
Well, maybe he should start going by Ryan.
That'd be fun.
And then Ryan,
I have to change my name.
Ryan Luke. Yeah, Ryan Luke. Who's in the office? Ryan Luke. Ryan and Luke? No, Ryan Luke.
Yeah, no, that's why it gets confusing. But he saw it, and I'm really jealous because he said that they went apeshit at the theater. It was
they did.
Men of all different generations going there and flipping out.
Now I want to experience that, but I feel bad because there's also actual 10-year-old children who are there to just watch the movie.
Yeah.
They have to know. The kids need to know that this is an adult experience that they're walking into.
This is true. Have you seen the one where have you seen the clip where they're at the Chicken Jockey moment? It's Chicken Jockey, and then somebody screams.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah.
They do that. They do that when the black girl feeds the dog a bone too.
She's
feeding the dog a bone, and then somebody yells out, "Black girl!" and then somebody else yells out, "Get the off the screen!"
Wow,
not like
you
that.
Have to show me that one.
It's on Instagram Reels.
Okay,
it's pretty funny though.
We'll watch it. We'll watch
Ben's
it eventually.
that's not on the internet. I did that.
Oh, yeah, that was just something I did. It's like when Walter White was walking around naked and he was in a fugue state.
I never saw Breaking Bad.
It's so
actually
bad.
good.
It's not even good.
You think it's bad?
I do. After seeing Mad Men, yes, Breaking Bad.
Oh, so you're brand new into Mad Men.
Brand
And
new
now
into
this all-
Mad Men, yeah, and I'm officially disowning Breaking Bad. Well, it's still like pretty good. Still like top one of the best shows, but
It got booted. from
Mad
the-
Men's pretty incredible.
I
Did
still
you
haven't
even
watched
finish
it.
it yet?
No,
Okay.
but I'm getting there. I could already
So-
tell.
It's long, right?
It's long. It's like 7 seasons long. Have
I
you
can't
seen
do
it?
that. No, but I've seen Breaking Bad. These are my top. Breaking Bad. I was really surprised because everybody had watched it and said it was great, and I missed the whole hype, and I watched it super late,
Okay.
like 3 years after it was out.
okay.
And I was like, oh shit, this is actually really compelling, and I like tension, and so they did a good job of like tension. And then Sopranos I put up there, and I always thought Sopranos and Breaking Bad were like the top. And then I saw Boardwalk Empire, totally sick.
okay.
Like the costumes, the surroundings, the
I've
drama.
honestly, I'm so like illiterate when it comes, not so much movies, but like TV shows and like, well, Ben knows about this. I've talked-
Chicken Jackie.
but
Is the commitment of it all?
I think so. I mean, it depends. If I watch it with a friend or like a girl, it's better because you're like in it together. But I've never been one to just like watch stuff alone. Like
Mhm.
I don't like watching shows with girls because then when you go back and see it again, then I'm like,
oh, you're thinking about the
I'm like,
girl
dude, I watched I'll never be able to watch Titanic and
because that was you and
yeah,
Yeah.
or like Love on the Spectrum. Like
okay.
don't ever binge a show with a girl, but also you have to reclaim the show at a certain point.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to just power through it and be like, nah,
It's
Yeah.
probably
this is-
better when you watch it without that fucking bitch.
Yeah, true. Good point.
Yeah, I've been through
Good point.
breakups where I'm like, I don't like. She's from like a certain state, and I'm like, every time like I don't want
wanna
to drive.
go to that
I don't want to
state.
drive through Massachusetts.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
where she's from.
Uh-huh.
But that's I'm like, that's retarded.
They're gonna have billboards of her on the highway.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
gonna be like, this is Kristen's house.
Welcome to
Welcome to. I didn't. Her name wasn't Kristen, but
smart.
yeah, I nah. Well, the one thing I know, we've beaten this horse, but Ben showed me the movie Tombstone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which, have you seen that?
No, Val Kilmer though, right?
Yes, that is a very good movie and
Hmm.
probably in my top 5. And Ben
No
converted
shit.
me into
Are you a big Western guy?
No.
See that me neither. So like that's why I avoided like basically all those movies. But now I think I'm a Western guy.
Western stuff's cool.
Yeah, and do you know what's big in? I think it is. The word Western kind of I think got redefined. If there are like certain elements, even if it doesn't take place with like cowboys and in the West, it
Mhm.
becomes a Western. I don't
Mhm.
really get that. I'm not a movie, not a foodie, a movie guy,
Yeah.
a cinemaphile.
Yes.
But I'm sure our coworkers could enlighten us on this, that certain things that aren't cowboy Indian are Westerns. But essentially, Fargo, I think, is a Western.
Okay.
And
I've heard that.
That
yeah.
show is, it's like that's the top.
Okay.
I actually put that above Breaking
Are you
Bad.
saying like so you're saying that genres that aren't classically considered westerns are kind of play as westerns?
Yeah, I don't think like the elements of being in the West and
Right.
cowboys and
Like
stuff like that.
Fargo, like
Mm.
Fargo is kind of got a western vibe.
like a
yeah.
noir
Yes.
movie doesn't necessarily need to be in like the
Right.
30s or
Right.
whatever the
I
fuck.
think that's true, yeah.
Like True Detective also comes to mind as like a
Yeah.
western, like in a shot kind of in a western.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is, and it's a
style.
Southern, really. It takes
Yeah.
place in the South, but it is. I think that's classified.
we
That's
need,
an-
we need
an
to start making
interesting-
Northerns.
They
yeah,
do.
they do. Family
do.
Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy and The Departed.
Oh,
The
that movie's so
Departed.
good.
Oh yeah,
That is a good
Boston
movie.
Boston
Fudge.
movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what are some other funny Boston? Didn't we've talked about this on the pod before? But there's
I should know them, but I
The
don't.
Departed. Oh, there's that one
Mystic
the
River.
Johnny Depp gangster movie Black Mass.
Oh yeah, Black Mass.
What about
Mystic River, I believe
movie
too.
sucks.
There's what's the movie with fucking, oh god, it's a baseball, it's like a Red Sox movie, And at the end, they're like, "Sweet Caroline." It's like fucking
Comedy?
Jimmy Fallon. Is Jimmy Fallon in it?
Oh yes,
Is
I
that
know what
him
you're talking
in
about.
it?
Isn't it called
like a-
Red,
it's like-
Red
it's-
Wings or something?
It's a
I don't know.
it's like
I
a
haven't
romantic
seen it.
comedy.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
I just
Jimmy Kimmel?
no,
No, he
it's,
hasn't acted,
it's
really.
some fucking
Why
guy.
hasn't he acted? Maybe he sucks.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy
Ooh.
Kimmel is
Excuse me.
acting. Is Jimmy? Wait, no. Who's the guy? What's the talk show host that does?
They
There's like
both are.
3 different Jimmy talk show hosts.
They all look
Yeah.
the same. They're all
but
soulless.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon is like particularly offensive because he does the thing where when
'Cause
he
did
laughs,
blackface.
when he goes like this, no, but when he laughs, he goes like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he like covers.
Yeah, he's like
crunches. Yeah, he like he
Yeah.
has the worst.
schmaltziness.
yeah. Well, his last name is actually
I think the
Falstein.
last
No, I'm just kidding.
the last like non-offensive late night host was probably, I don't know, who was that guy from the old
I thought
Jimmy
Jon
Carson?
Stewart
Or
was
Johnny Carson
Johnny
was
Carson,
a
right.
badass.
I liked Conan. I actually
Conan
liked,
was cool
Conan's
I
too.
liked
valid.
Jay Leno too. I mean, something happened with Conan where I don't know. There was kind of too much of him. It's weird because
he was the last like Irish
Conan
Catholic
was cool
person.
though.
Yeah.
Conan was.
That's true.
I don't know if he was Catholic, but he looks
I
Irish
think
Catholic.
he is in like with his upbringing. But
Yeah.
a lot of those guys just fall away. But yeah, so like Conan was great, and then the Jay Leno rift happened, and then I kind of don't like the way he went about it. It's kind of not graceful. It was kind of dirty. It was almost like if you see like your grandfather or somebody that you admire and you
Mhm.
hold them to be like a person of like decorum, and they curse and they make like
Yeah.
a pussy joke. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, that
It
is
was kinda
gross.
like
That
that.
is kind of off-putting. Again, now it's just like, I mean, as soon like now like we're in like Trevor Noah territory.
Dude, James Corden is bad. James
is that
Corden,
the
that's
chubby
the fat
blonde
guy,
dude?
Yeah.
And then that
Karaoke guy.
other dude, was it Adam Ruins Everything? What's that guy's
Does
name?
he have a show?
Yeah, you know what I'm
Well,
talking
I
about?
know that show.
I know who
but
he is, but I
that
can't put
guy's
a.
there's a billboard of him. He's playing around here. We should go heckle him.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go
Hey, you're a
spend
fucking
money to heckle.
Joke's on you. I paid $60
Yeah, joke's on you.
to go to Foxwoods.
Here's my money. You're a faggot.
Yeah, no, but his face. Did you see that billboard? It's coming
No.
into.
I think I did see that, yeah.
it's the most annoying headshot ever. He's like this. He's like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah,
Lovely.
there's not too many honorable or
Seth Meyers sucks so bad
does.
too.
they're
He was like he was pretty bad on Weekend Update
Do you remember-
as well.
yeah, he's just a guy. Like,
Yeah,
there's
he
nothing fun or
sucked.
characteristic about them.
Do you remember
I
when-
don't like him.
Do you remember the clip of Steve-O on the Adam Carolla show?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's one of the best.
Yeah,
We can't say what he said.
But
But
we can
it was-
say,
but we
can
know
s-
it, what
But
it
we
is.
know, but we all know what he said.
Yes.
Everybody knows
He
what
yelled
he said.
chicken jockey really
He
loud.
yelled chicken jockey loud.
And it was like,
and then he smashed into a table.
I love chicken jockey.
yeah.
Man, I'm drunk. I'm drunk. And
Yeah, he
Fuck
just says
you,
what he
I
is.
love you, but fuck you, Adam. He
Yeah.
tackles Adam.
That was so uncomfortable to watch.
And now Steve-O, I mean, we could be talking about better things, but Steve-O is
Another
just a bad dude now.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy.
Because he's like a let me tell you how to be a good person guy.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, sobriety is everything, and like, I mean, bam. I am not even gonna try and do it.
It's-
I'm not gonna even try.
No, but it does suck because he's like basically, all right. So all those guys, first of all, it was like CKY, Bam
Yeah.
Margera, and his buddy, and then like it got jackassified, which it kind of like it felt like a merge, right? With like
yeah, it got a little like
Steve-O.
MTV-ish kind
It
of
did.
like.
and you know those guys. I mean, like Bam, all those guys like pushed themselves to the limit physically and probably mentally too. It's like you're famous now, you have a drug issue.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're like poo-pooing him because he hasn't sobered up, it's like, well, dude, like that guy lost his best friend. Like you guys
Yeah.
didn't. It's just shit. I just think it's shitty what they've done to the
It
guy.
is. Me and Ben were grateful enough to have met Bam.
Oh, nice.
And it's so retarded because we should have taken a picture with him.
Mm.
But we were actually hanging out with Bam
Mhm.
in San Antonio, Texas, because we got invited to this.
That's the gayest thing ever, though. Is like once you get around Bam at like a night, like it was like a private function. It wasn't.
It
like,
was it was like a thing. It was all of us. It was like
Really?
Sam, Nick, Charles, me, Ben, Luke Carini was there. Yeah.
Schultz.
No.
Schultz.
No, Schultz wasn't there.
Oh, maybe Luke was there.
Luke
Yeah.
Carini was there, but Bam was there. But we were all kind of starstruck and like very like walking on eggshells because like Bam's here. We don't want to like
the vibes weren't like. Can I get a picture? The vibes were like, okay,
yeah,
we're all just like
but
kicking
we were just
it.
chilling and Bam. All Bam was doing was all love to Bam. All he was really doing was just telling stories. He was like. So he was just talking about this one story where he was like, so get this, we're on the fucking plane. I'm on seat 2A. Guess who's in seat 2B? Chris Cornell.
Nice.
From Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chris Cornell, he was basically saying that like he was trying to talk with Chris Cornell and Chris Cornell didn't even know who he was or something like that.
That's hurtful.
But this was 2 years ago and he was sober. But like sober in the sense that he was still on like antipsychotic medic. He was on like
I remember that era. There was like some weird Instagram stories I remember following.
He wasn't drinking or doing anything like that, but he was still just kind of like, I guess, trying to organically heal his brain slowly. But it was an interesting time.
Dude, I just saw like a mini documentary on him. It was about how this therapist group or whatever it is, I think there was some Israeliness going on there actually, but it was on HBO and it was like this short little mini doc about how they like were his handlers and they like fucked his life up. Like they got him kicked out of his Bam castle and then he wasn't allowed to go back there.
Oh shit.
And then his brother then hated him and they were trying to like move stuff around because they had like conservatorship. It was pretty messed up. Like the reality is that I'm sure he does suffer with addiction, all those stuff. But then he's also getting just like fucked with by people who like want to help him.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Well, that's like a thing that happens with. I mean, that's the same thing that happened with Wendy Williams recently. Has been institutionalized.
Yeah,
as well as Britney Spears was under a pretty strict conservativeship for.
But now she's free, right?
I think she's free, but the damage is already done.
Yeah, I think the damage has been done.
Like once you've been raped for that long, you can't really come back from that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Same with the Biebs.
The Biebs is actually making a historic comeback right now. I have to get us one more beer. Yes.
Can you get me
have you not been seeing the Biebs all over
I've been seeing
Instagram?
the Bieb clips. They look pretty rough. He looks skeletal.
I also don't know. I also don't follow him, so I don't know like if he just acts like a wigger or something. Like I don't know if he's like I don't know. I mean I just like to think of him as a young boy.
That kid singing.
Do you want another Polar?
You know what? I got a secret Coke over here, but thank you.
Yeah.
It's my secret cola.
Ryan's doing Coke.
Ryan's doing Coke. He doesn't drink, but he does do Coke.
You can't even drink Coca-Cola, dude.
Dude, if you drink, I mean, Coca-Cola, like that's my treat. I usually like me and my dog Sunshine. Sometimes I give her like raisins.
What is this character?
Steve-O.
Oh, that's Steve-O.
Did he say that?
No,
that's hilarious.
No,
I give him
he
raisins.
had a story about
He's an idiot.
Ben. He might
he's an idiot.
Ben, he might be a guest one day.
Ben,
he's gonna find. This is your digital footprint.
I saw you call me an idiot.
I saw you calling me an idiot, man.
I didn't
And honestly, I'm not even offended because you're a drinker.
Oh yeah, he would be
And
like,
I gave up alcohol 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't do that anymore, so you have no
Isn't
right.
it? Yeah. So
Ben, I'm not even offended that
and
you
I'm just gonna
called
be like,
me.
Steve-O, you're a moron.
Ben, you have a disease. It's okay. We can
Right.
talk about it. My voice is fucked up forever. And
And I'm gonna be like,
He's gonna say you're lashing
Steve-O,
out.
that's why you're on my podcast.
Ben, when I go to
Ben.
hell, my
And I'm gonna be
voice is
like-
going to be fucked up still.
And I'm gonna be like, Steve-O, dude, I'm like, trust me.
He has a pedophile tattoo.
does he?
He
He has a-
does.
he has
He
a
does
tat-
have a tattoo of him raping a baby. It's
What?
pretty
Yep,
messed
yep.
up.
Well,
Uh,
oh man.
Hold on.
Yeah, get him like
We
that.
might have to show you that. Even though it's
tattoo?
dark.
You don't
yeah,
want to see it.
Is it
some
newer
Don't
tattoo?
show Ryan it.
No, it's old. Steve-O
It's not like
baby tattoo.
Is it
it's
photorealistic?
graphic, but
Is it graphic?
it's not like high detailed.
Mm.
It's not like a hyper realistic tattoo, but it's
Um,
realistic enough to be offensive.
Mm.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, that is realistic enough to be offensive.
Yeah, it's
What
pretty.
a piece of dirt.
Yeah,
I know.
You know
He
what's funny too? He's like, I'm super sober, but
There's
then I
also
have,
that
like,
picture of him at the table with the whippets.
That's actually
and
fucked. Anyways,
It is fucked.
Steve-O's not a good person, like for real.
No.
I don't think that he.
I mean, I guess it's better than. Well, what's better? Him getting sober. Him now getting sober and doing podcasts and this and that, being a sober person, I guess,
Mhm.
or just like dying from something drug related, but having the
Yeah.
legacy of just being a crazy
yes,
entertainer.
that's
I wonder-
better.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
It's like Gigi. What if Gigi Allin got sober and it's like,
Oh,
I'm sorry, I
man.
threw shit at people and raped people.
yeah.
Now I'm so like, I wouldn't want that.
He's a disgust.
Yeah. I
wouldn't want
Gigi Allen was irredeemable too. It's not like
Mhm.
there's no amount of podcasts that Gigi Allen would do that make me like
The
him.
Welcome to the
podcast.
GG podcast.
yeah.
Oh my
And he's
god.
interviewing like Sammy the Bull.
That's another
like, mafia
bad.
guys.
I don't like him, Gigi Allen. He's
Me neither,
gross.
I know people that do. It really is like there's two types of people that do, people that don't. There's not a huge difference in the type of person, but
It's a lot of girls.
is it? Oh, that's
Yeah,
sad. Like
girls-
like Charles Manson level
very
shit.
telling.
Because girls love. I mean, this is a gay black pill generalization thing, but girls seem to like. Well, girls like. Well, it is generally agreed upon that girls like badass, dangerous guys. But I think it goes a step further where girls like dangerous, like, they
Yeah.
were, good example is the Luigi dude who
Oh
killed
yeah,
Right.
whether he
guy.
killed the guy or not. There's girls sending pussy to the prison to him.
Wow.
Just that's also a political thing too, because they're like flicking their bean to him, like killing a CEO, which
Yeah.
is like anti-capitalism,
Right.
which is like a leftist like girl bean flicking thing. But but no, girls have sent letters to serial killers.
Yeah, oh,
like,
yeah.
like Charles Manson,
I used to date one, and it
a
was
serial killer.
she used
lover?
to be a pen pal for Michael Alig.
Wait,
Who's
what?
Michael-
Who's
what-
he?
He's the guy who like chopped up that other gay guy. He was the party monster guy. Remember the club kids party monster?
No,
He's the one who with Desmond is amazing. Sam has mentioned it before.
I'm not
think
familiar.
He he did a podcast when he got out of prison for chopping up this guy's body and hiding it. And he was like part of this club scene or whatever, just gay and fashionable or whatever.
Also,
But he got out of prison and like he did a podcast with Desmond is Amazing, which is like a child tranny.
oh,
And
I
that
know
one-
who you're talking about. Yeah,
I wound
Oh.
up meeting him because she brought me to. I think that was our second date. She brought me to like a party monster party because he got out of prison. And I was like, "This is gay." It was really
well, yeah,
gay.
because it's girls. Girls love. Well, girls generally. I'm making generalizations. Also, please forgive me, but girls like erotica novels.
Oof.
Like like
Daniel Steele.
yes,
you know
like-
the 50 Shades of
Yeah,
Grey.
yeah, yeah. Well,
ever-
also,
Yeah.
like girls will put. We talked about this on the
on
last,
the last pod.
but we got to just bring it up again. A girl will say, "I read 12 books this year." They're all like, "I was raped by a burglar," or like,
It's hot to them.
"It's hot to them." Oh, and that's another.
It'd
Here's
probably
another.
be hot to me.
Here's
if I was
another
a gay guy.
point. here's another point. Why is it that all true crime podcasters are female?
It's
Dude.
true.
They love it.
I mean, boom, bro.
yeah.
Like they just want to
It's
get killed
the
and murdered.
girls are into like literature and like tension and like I feel like they're into that sort of thing because it's I mean again I keep like giving disclaimers for myself just because I don't want to.
God, I feel
I
like
don't
we're
like
so
being
close. I feel
I
like
don't-
we're about to break through. And
I don't like
figure
being
out
an
why you
absolute.
Like it.
I don't like being like this is how it is. I hate that. I don't
But
want to be.
well, you could say there are plenty of.
there are plenty
Yeah,
of girls
it's
who
true.
like this stuff, and I think it's evolutionary because back in the caveman, like the saying like caveman bonks the girl on the head with
Yeah.
the club and like you're my wife now, like that general idea. So I think that is ancestral sort of thing, like
the submission thing. Well,
the submission thing. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's why they like
Yeah,
that.
but they never
Anyways,
freaking submit to me, even though I do everything right.
Yeah. Well, Ben, you're not making enough. Ben, you're not making enough money. You're not
Chicken,
protecting
dude.
them enough. You need to.
I do everything. I do everything right, and they never freaking submit
Full
to me.
meltdown.
Now, speaking of which, in your career, in your career working with Gavin,
Mhm.
have you met any interesting like guests or people or interactions
Oh, yeah.
throughout that? Like-
Yeah, and I was thinking about that when you were like, "Oh, I don't have a picture." I think it's better because if you ever do see Bam again, you're not like the picture guy, fan guy. You're like
Yeah.
I had to. So it was out of necessity that I wouldn't like bug the guest with a picture, and then it became like we're just like hanging out with this person, like
Yeah,
Kanye
it's-
West. Like I did get a picture with him.
Oh yeah, because
You
Gavin did
have to.
Kanye.
Yeah. I did have to get a picture with Kanye, but because I was like, I don't think I'm going to see this fella again. But we got along.
Yeah.
It was cool. And I was like, man, that sucks. But Gilbert Gottfried and the
Nice.
guy from Ghostbusters, I think are the only two at
Oh, that's
working
awesome.
at Compound Media
Not
I got
Bill
a picture
Murray.
with. Not Bill Murray, no.
Was Bill Murray in
The black
Dan
guy.
Ghostbusters?
The black guy.
Di-
Oh,
Kind of
Okay.
oh,
the
great.
later edition.
Oh.
The receptionist. No,
was
the
Bill,
Slimer.
Was Bill Murray in Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I
It was Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, the black guy, and some other guy.
Now
Full roster, baby.
I
There it
remember
is.
the
That's what it said on their name tags, actually. The other guy.
I remember when Gavin did the Kanye interview.
Mhm.
Like Gavin was like trying to be. It was like being very reasonable with like. He was trying to contextualize what
Mm.
Kanye was saying, like
Yeah.
in like a very like rational way, and
Mm.
but Kanye was
Like
just,
sanitize it.
Kanye was just going like,
Right. Nah.
he's like, nah, Hitler
Right.
was dope.
Yeah,
that sort of, like,
basically the conversation.
Same with
is like that.
same with fucking
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Mhm. So let
It's
me get this
crazy.
straight. You don't actually love Hitler. He's like, no, I do love Hitler. Like, he's
Yeah.
the best.
It's pretty
It's
funny.
like, I watched that live in the office when that was happening.
Yeah, same.
And I remember it was like transitioning to like, it might have been like a commercial break.
Mhm.
It was transitioning, like the crane camera was pulling out, and Kanye was just like, "No, I love Hitler," and then it was just like it transitioned to that,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Yo, this
I
is
remember
crazy."
that. I was watching it live. It was like the Super Bowl, but like it was like reality was tearing apart.
It
I was
was
like, what? He had the net, he had the Yoo-hoo, and I was like, and there's Nick,
yeah,
who's been open about, like loving Kanye West music and just being like, yeah, he rules, both from Chicago and stuff like that. And anyway, and then it's him, Alex Jones, and Kanye. I'm like, this is a crazy moment.
It is crazy. It took me a little bit afterwards to understand the net and Yahoo.
Oh,
thing.
really? Yeah.
I didn't put those two together. I was like, why does he have a net? Why does he have a badminton net in his hand, or whatever that he had?
Mhm.
And but that was pretty nuts. Actually, when the day after the Alex Jones thing came out, one of Kanye's like handlers hit me up on Instagram.
Whoa.
One of somebody that you like a lot.
Okay. Who?
Hitler.
One of
Hitler.
no,
Was it
no,
Hitler?
one
Was
of
it-
no one. I'll say it. It doesn't matter.
Well,
We'll talk about it
yeah,
later.
it's not like you can say it out loud. Anyways.
But they hit us up, because they were trying to do damage control immediately
Oh, I see.
after the Alex Jones thing, and they were thinking like, oh, can we get Kanye on PGL or
Dude,
something?
Danny-
Not that would have solved anything.
Danny
Right.
Brown just followed me on Twitter.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, Danny Brown.
Danny Brown's is a fish tank fan.
Oh, yeah, no, I heard.
And I'm a Danny
I
Brown
heard.
fan, so it all works
That's
out.
cool.
Nice.
We were gonna talk. I had some talking points.
Anyways.
cool.
Even though our conversation is going,
I could talk about Kanye
it's going-
all day, but
our conversation is going very naturally. So I don't want to.
I love one more
inter-
thing. Before you get into
Yeah.
before you get into it, the last thing that Kanye did that was the crazy. Didn't he drop the swastika shirts
Recently, yeah.
recently?
I think so.
But I think that the manufacturers rejected the design, and so
it might have been
nobody's getting.
It might have been like a stripe thing or like a.
Hmm.
But I mean, he's got that fucking iced out chain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Nazi chain.
Moral of the story is, thank you, Kanye.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Kanye.
He
Thank-
really did just
Thank
tear
you
the
just
roof
for
off.
being yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for being
For
yourself.
unapologetically yourself.
Yep.
But this list is retarded. First of all, for the first line is interview style, early life
Nice.
/ career. I don't even know if we should get into that. Do you,
My
you do
early
any,
life,
do you
Not Jewish.
not Jewish? Well, I assumed you were Jewish with how you look. You look Jewish.
Thank you.
We could get into that if it's interesting. I mean, I know that you grew up in the Bronx. The
Mhm.
Bronx.
Yeah. Co-op
Were you
City.
born in New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was in the Bronx until like 3rd or 4th grade.
What was that like?
It was cool. Like, cause Co-op City, the
Oh, you were
part
in
of the
Co-op
Bronx.
City?
You know Co-op City?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. I know where it is geographically. I
It
just
is.
don't know what
It is
much about it.
cool. Like
Yeah.
it. Honestly, like I love Co-op City. I've always pictured myself
I
like.
think Kai
always
Sinat's
doing
from
that
around
thing.
that area.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Probably my neighbor.
Yeah.
Isn't Ice Spice from the Bronx too?
She is.
Well, the Bronx. Yeah, a lot of the Bronx cranks out still to this day. A lot of.
But she's like a
hip-hop
SUNY
artists.
purchase. Like,
Ooh,
I don't think
she's more Westchester than she is Bronx.
Yeah. She's
How big
She's
was
probably
your?
lived in Pelham.
yeah.
I'm curious how big your elementary school was, because in New York it seems like the real estate for public schools is very confined.
You know what? Maybe it is, but the thing with Co-op City is it's like its own thing. So if you look at a map of geography, it's like, there's some stuff over some highways, pretty flat. Out of nowhere, jutting up is like this little city.
Yeah.
It looks like a little toy city almost from a distance. It's built on a swamp. It used to be an amusement park, the whole thing. It's you own the apartments, you don't rent them. You have to apply and wait on a list before you even get one. It's got its own police department, its own fire department. It's a very weird little place.
Is it called Co-op City because I know you can own, like, I know a co-op is a type of real estate ownership.
Mm-hmm. I
My
believe so.
My friend who lives in Mamaroneck bought a co-op, which I think a co-op is just like a fancy term for like a condo. Maybe. I don't know.
Or it's like co-op. So like the person that has it owns it, but then also like the River Bay Company, for instance, owns it too.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know. It's kind of commie-ish, to be honest, but it was a safe city. And,
Wasn't Hood?
Was it good?
Was it Hood?
No, not really. I mean, there were parts of it that were like, if my school was all black, but it wasn't.
I'm gonna
like,
look up
hood
a
black.
picture.
This was '90s. Like
I gotta
the
see a
'90s
picture
things
of
were
this.
pretty chill.
Yeah.
Not everywhere. Like the Bronx has been a nightmare forever. There's lots of.
Can I
places
ask
that
when you
have
were
never
born?
improved. 89.
Okay, so you grew. Oh wow.
But I will say this though, I was like the only Asian kid like there at the school, but I got into just like
They were like,
2 fights.
you cool,
that's it.
you cool with us, Asian kid.
Yeah, I would do that. It was
Would you
cool
get the
'cause
pass?
there was Jackie Chan was like, oh no, Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And then so they're like, yo, Bruce Lee. And then Jackie Chan came out like mid 90s.
Is
and then it was
this
Jackie Chan.
like kind of where you're
Oh
from?
yeah. It would be, if that's a parking garage, I think it might be over here. No, wait, that's the Greenway.
Yeah.
So I think I'm actually disoriented.
So are those like
about-
housing complexes there?
Yeah, there's townhouses.
I've driven
parking
by
garages
this.
and towers.
Because it's almost you're like
There's 3 types of
I've
buildings.
driven by this. I've literally driven by
because
this.
that's like almost on its way to like New Rochelle, right?
Yeah, it's the last part of the Bronx, essentially.
It's like the eastern side of Yonkers.
Dude, I know where
right?
this
Kind
is.
of, or
a
no?
little bit. Yonkers a little more north.
Okay.
But it's really like, if you look at the Bronx, it's like here, and then Co-op City's right here, and then you got Westchester. It's right on the border.
Okay.
And we were living right across the border, like 5 minutes away from Co-op, and I was like, this is awesome, because I just love Co-op so much. There's 3 different types of buildings, like 3 different types of building shapes. One is a chevron. It's kind of like bent like that. There's a tower that goes straight up, different entrances. And then there's a triple core, which is a flat building with 3 separate towers that are all one. Anyway, there's a Defunct Land. You know the Defunct Land?
No.
YouTube. He like looks at old amusement parks that are no longer in existence. Why did like Universal Studios, Nickelodeon fail? It's like all that shit. It's really good.
Interesting.
But he does one on Co-op City that's just, it's awesome, because I didn't know until I watched that it used to be, so there was the team for Walt Disney, and one of the guys on that team broke off to start his own thing, and it was where Co-op City now is, called Freedomland. And it was essentially a mini United States of America. So they had a mini New York, they had a Colorado River, they had a Chicago place where there would be a fire, like the Chicago fire. They'd have like a Florida part, whatever, Texas. And it was huge, but it wasn't seasonal because it would get cold as shit in New York. And so it wound up, like failing.
I gotcha.
So it was like, I was always wondering, I was like, why does this place feel so fun and different? It's like built on a swamp, barely a part of the Bronx.
Yeah.
And
It's-
then
it's-
also
it's kind
used
of
to be an
isolated.
amusement park. Yeah, it really is.
Now, how did your parents get to co-op? Like, what is the story behind, like, for settling in that specific area?
Co-op? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Oh, they were in like upper Manhattan at first, and then they went to a different part of the Bronx, and then they wound up in Co-op City. I forget. This is before I was born, but yeah, that was their little route there. But
Okay.
Puerto Rico, and then just New York, just straight up there. I don't think we lived anywhere else, our family.
Did you because like when you were growing up, so your mom is Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
Was there like Spanish spoken in the household? Sort
Not
of thing?
really. No, like my grandfather came from the type of family that was like, we have to like assimilate immediately. So
Okay.
like no Spanish in the house. There was some Spanish in the house. I can't say that, but basically they didn't have like toilets in Puerto Rico at the time, or at
Uh-huh.
least in their little town of Salinas, they
Mhm.
didn't. So he was afraid of the toilet flushing. So his dad would sit him on the toilet and flush the toilet until he got like used to it, which doesn't make sense because you don't flush the toilet while sitting on it. So
No. Wait, you don't? No, I'm just
I
kidding.
we come to find out.
I actually just leave it in there and let my roommate flush it for me because I'm afraid.
He's your Shabbat's toy.
Yeah.
Flusher.
So so after that,
Mhm.
well, you said you were only there till what, 3rd grade?
Yeah. By the way, so I was going to say there was tons of blacks, tons of Latinos, Asian looking me, but really raised by Puerto Ricans. But I was like the worst kid. Like, so after 1st grade, after 1st grade, so kindergarten, 1st grade, then I got sent from that school, essentially kicked out to a special ed school. My grades were fine. I was advanced in like reading and science or whatever. It was just I would just not respect the teacher's authority, and I would just talk
with
yeah.
yeah.
I wasn't
that's
mean
fair,
or
that's fair.
weird. I was just like, let's just joke around. We're all here. We're friends.
Yeah.
And,
No, I get
you
that
know.
totally.
So at one time, so this is probably why it was a penis related incident. This is like me. I'm like Steve-O now. I'm like,
I pulled my
Ryan,
penis out in
just
front of
let
the
it
fucking.
ride. Just
I was
send
dating
it-
a girl,
send it out there,
Zakia,
man.
and she was like, "Can you show us your privates under the desk?" So I just did, and it was fine. They were giggling.
Little
and-
kids are curious about all the
Yeah.
genitalia.
Mhm.
and then they asked me to use it essentially,
You know,
which is
make
to pee.
the milk come out.
So there
Just
was no
kidding.
milk.
Dude, they asked me for the,
Yeah, I was
the
jerking
milk
off
to come
in there.
out. I was jerking off, principal.
They asked me to pee, and because like they were just kind of curious, I guess, like how that would work.
Because
And so I peed.
girls pee differently, and they want to know
They
how
sure
a boy
do.
pees. Yeah.
They pee like
So what?
nonsense.
You just peed under your desk, on
under the desk,
on
and
the
then
floor.
they all like reacted very strongly, as you should when somebody pisses under the desk.
Pretty funny.
And then the teacher was like, "What's happening over there?" I was like, "Oh boy, when you find out, you're not gonna be.
I went
happy."
pee-pee.
You're gonna be mad.
Don't
That's-
be mad, but I pissed under the
That's
desk.
normal grade school activity. That's
It was.
that's
I think it was
normal.
1st grade. So yeah, give me
That's,
a break.
that's
everybody.
super normal.
And
It's like when my teacher told me he's like peeing under the desk.
did you
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
I'm like, what do you know?
Yeah.
What school did you go to?
The Steve-O school of being a badass.
No, my teacher like did way worse to me, bro.
They
You got off
tattooed my
easy.
face, man.
Now, after Co-op City, did you were you jumping around from place to place, or did you have a new home after that?
New home. So my grandparents had moved up there already. My grandfather was like pretty hardworking. He worked at like 9X, some telecommunications things and all this. He was in Vietnam, so he's a very structured guy. So he found his way out of the city in his 30s, I believe. And so a city guy going to like a house, now he's got to learn like yard work and all
And
that
you're
stuff.
talking about
and-
going up to New Rochelle?
No, this was up in Hudson Valley, New York, another place
Oh,
that
you
I
went-
love.
You went a little
It's
far
the
up
crown
north.
jewel of the Hudson Valley.
What is it? Like not Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie's kind of close, but it's
A little
like
more south of
Newburgh.
it.
Newburgh is the big
Jewburg.
Jewburgh. We know Newburgh, but like
That's on the
That's, like, kinda
west side of the
dangerous.
river, right?
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And so I was close to Newburgh. It's kind of a landmark, but really it was in Washingtonville, New York.
Okay.
A very small little
No,
town there.
Hudson Valley's dope.
Right?
I mean,
There was just a
I'm happy to hear you
helicopter
say
crash
that.
there.
There was just what?
there was.
You didn't hear about that?
A what?
A helicopter crash.
Whoa, no, I did not.
I don't know if that might have been like in the city itself. I don't know if it was like up,
In Newburgh?
not in Newburgh,
Oh, in New York
but do you
City.
remember the historic?
9/11.
No, the plan, the
I'll never forget.
the planned
actually.
landing.
Mm.
Remember the pilot that landed on the
We
Hess
gotta hear
Hudson?
Ryan's
Oh, yeah.
9/11 story.
Sullyburger.
Yes,
I
that,
have one.
yeah. There was a pilot that landed, I believe, a commercial plane
Yeah.
on the Hudson River
Yeah.
successfully,
Saved
saved
everybody.
everyone.
Yeah, I've seen that picture.
Yeah.
And then he wrote a book and he did a signing and there was like nobody there.
Yeah,
It was kind of
it's like,
sad.
Yeah, he's like, I've saved fucking 60 people's lives.
Yeah.
Fuck
Don't you want to read about it?
Well,
Did
he
you
was-
want my signature?
Well, he's a white guy, so no.
That's
but-
true.
But
That's true.
I
Sad.
want to. Now I really want to. Let's segue into the important story,
Mhm.
the 9/11.
Never forget.
9/11. 9/11. So the most interesting thing, the most interesting lore from 9/11 I've heard in recent years is there is a video that surfaced.
Dancing Israelis.
No, this is past that. This
Urban
is
moving system.
that's E-Team. That's we're past that.
Oh, the
But
plane's fake.
no, the
We're past that.
there is a video of these people on a ferry. This is a 9/11.
Oh
video,
yeah,
the
a
people on the
newly
ferry.
released.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the person and the description was, the description was, oh, this video was unlisted for so long. I meant to upload it like in like 2005 or whatever,
wow.
early YouTube, but it wasn't unlisted.
Hmm.
It was just uploaded.
Oh,
And the person who uploaded it was one of the like chairmen of Boeing.
what?
And I thought that was very interesting.
That is interesting. That is weird.
Yeah, we got a new 9/11 angle. Who uploaded it on YouTube? Oh, the guy that is one of the head people at Boeing.
Yeah.
Strange. And I don't want to get. Me and Ben
It's
always.
it's a deep.
I don't
rabbit hole.
understand. Like, what's the conspiracy there?
That a person uploaded a new angle of the 9/11 plane going in 3 years ago.
Boeing and
That's a
CEO of
Boeing executive. Like
But
But who
Boeing.
cares?
I don't know.
It's just strange.
It is
Anyways,
str- there's just nothing but strange stuff.
yeah, I have a
after
friend
9/11.
whose
It's
dad
all
died in the
strange.
towers.
Me too.
Yeah,
You know
no, they
what's-
didn't.
okay.
They were actors. Your friend's an actor.
I can't
Where
say.
are
I
they?
can't.
Your friend's
I can't
dad
say.
is a really
his
good
friend's,
actor.
My friend's
He
dad
watches.
passed away, and
Yeah.
All right.
He's
I'm
dead.
sorry. I'm
Right.
sorry. I'm sorry.
his
Ben
dad
has
is no
forgotten.
longer
Too
here.
far.
So, like, I mean,
Dude,
you-
so I'm sorry to cut you out, but this is crazy. So this is one of those things where it felt like I'm in the right place, right time or something. So we went to go see, while you guys were on tour, a movie at the Providence Mall, and it was called Secret Mall Apartment. And so it's about those artists
that's
that moved
Jesse,
into the
Jesse Eisenberg
yes, it
produced
is.
that.
He wasn't in that, which I respect that. He didn't
Yeah.
have to pop in and be like, "Hey guys, it was me." It's like, okay, we get it.
He just. I
But
think
he
he just helped
produced it.
make it.
So these artists like moved in there and they snuck in like, you know, tons of cinder blocks and stuff into the Providence Mall while it was being built, I think, or afterwards. Anyway, it was a really good thing. And so there's a 9/11 tie in there.
oh, the
'Cause they're
people
artists.
the people that lived in the mall.
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember that happening?
I don't remember that happening, but I know of the story.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
it was a documentary on that. And so we're in the mall where this documentary takes
That's
place. So they're
awesome.
showing the food court that we were just there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then also like going up to showcase, going up the escalators there, I saw on the wall there was like some tape art, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then you find out the guy who moved in, like the head artist guy, he does the tape art. So he's banned from the mall. So he didn't physically do it himself, but that style, he probably commissioned one of his artists to do it. So there's like in the mall, a little nod of his art. We're watching the movie of the mall. We're in the mall watching it. And then they go to the 9/11 thing. They were responsible for, and maybe you would recognize it if you saw it, but it's like tape art. So outlines of firemen and policemen that he would put all around New York City.
Mhm.
They like over a course of like 3 or 4 years, they would go down there and do like in the shape of a heart. If you were to like look at a map of New York City, in the shape of a heart, they did memorials of every single person that died, whether it's a firefighter, first responder, or they were in the towers or in the plane, like everybody.
Yeah.
They did one for each person. And then they show, this is where it gets crazy. They show just about 20 like pictures and names of like people that died. And I was sitting there thinking, of course, like we all tend to make things about ourselves, you know, like it's kind of inherent what we do. But I was like, I wonder if they're going to show my friend's dead dad. And they did. It was like, it was out of just 20 out of like 3,000. He was the last one. And I just shot up and I was like, I know him. Was
your friend's dad a civilian in the tower? Or,
he was a firefighter.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I remember, so I was always like kind of class clowny, and Rob was kind of quiet. And so I went up to him and like before 9/11.
That's his son?
Yeah. And I would go up to him and be like, I was like, hey, you want to fight? And like, I wasn't a fighter guy for like more than anybody else was.
Like play fighting?
Yeah. I didn't even actually want that challenge.
Yeah.
I was just fucking with him.
Yeah.
And then 9/11 happened. And then when he came back, because it was in September, the school year just started, but I think he came back like later in the year because that happened. His dad died.
Yeah.
He approached me on the breakfast line of the cafeteria, and he's like, "Hey, you still want to fight?" And I was like, "No, Rob,
he was
I don't."
He was bitter.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm ready to fucking."
Oh,
my dad
man.
died. We later we were in a mini band. We were in a band for a short amount of time, so we patched it over. But it was basically like, "Hey, stop fucking with me," because like my dad literally died in 9/11.
He's now, he's Batman now.
You could have literally turned that.
My origin story happened.
Yo,
All right, we'll take that. We'll take that.
Dude, I used to make the same jokes.
No, don't joke about my friend. No, we don't want to joke about people's
That's
deaths.
fucked.
Anyways, 9/11.
9/11's bad.
9/11 didn't happen. Let's move on.
9/11
I'm just kidding.
bad.
I'm just kidding.
The best
The 9/11
conspiracy stuff for that?
The 9/11 memorials are pretty cool.
They are.
He paid his respect and went there.
Nice.
As
I've been there multiple times.
As a fucking Southern Californian dude.
Yes.
Are you a Southern Californian?
I am.
Yo. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah. He's from the most Southern California.
So like Mexico.
Do you hear his voice?
Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah, thank
Like,
you.
I'm from Southern California.
See, I didn't really think I had that. I
Alright.
didn't think my accent was that thick.
It's strong as fuck.
It is kinda strong, now that you
here.
mention
I didn't
it.
think my accent was that thick until people started trying to
It's
imitate
nice.
it.
We
Nick's
like
impression
it.
of you is fucking crazy accurate.
That's funny.
Chris, we're
Yeah,
not
somebody-
talking
yeah,
about
this-
that anymore.
Somebody
Stop making fun of
sent
me.
me a link of Nick impersonating me, and I was
Really?
like, yeah,
It was on PGL.
I was like, wow, that's
No, Nick loves you. It's all.
Yeah.
It's endearing.
It's fine.
It's fine.
my accent is not as thick as Laker's accent. Laker has
You're-
the
Is he a Southern California guy?
yeah,
They're
yes.
basically
Oh.
the same thing.
Did you guys know
Yes.
each other before?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Him and Laker made the pilgrimage here in 2020
Excuse me.
to work with like me and Joey and Julian and like Sam trying to get into the cool kid club,
Right.
in which they did.
Hey, I'm here. I got the hat.
You got the hat.
Everybody's
You're one of the hat
you're in the
people.
cool
I got a
kid-
hat.
You're in the cool kid club.
Thank you.
So welcome to the Cool Kid Club. Now
Thanks.
this is an offshoot of the Cool Kid Club where me and Ben are trying to make residual income with Patreon,
Yeah.
but
Sign
it's
up.
going pretty good. Ryan
Succinctly
says sign
put.
up.
Yep.
Yeah, there
But,
you go. But yeah, we're both from me and Laker are both from Southern California.
SoCal.
So
What part?
Cal.
I've been. I think
I'm
Temecula
from-
was the southernmost. I've been.
Temecula is. I dated a girl from Temecula.
how
once.
far are you from? He's from
Yeah, I met her.
Ukaipa.
Evil woman in Temecula.
He's from Ukaipa, which is a
Ukaipa is about
Ukaipa?
an hour. It's about like
it's
an
a suburb
hour
of
north,
San Bernardino.
San Bernardino just sounds
which is
cool.
where there was that big shooting in
Oh,
like
yeah, that's right.
2018 or
I
something.
feel like there was
cares?
a Pauly Shore '80s movie that took place there.
Yeah,
That's
who-
Encino.
And then
Encino
who?
Man.
Where was the?
That's more popular
where-
than the shooting.
Where was
probably.
Elliot Rogers from?
He was from Santa Barbara.
That's where
Hmm.
Lakers from.
Lakers
Oh,
from
yeah?
Santa
So
Barbara.
Lakers from the area where the Elliot Rogers shit happened.
So 9/11, San Bernardino, Elliot Rogers. Where's the
Chris
The
is still
shooting
working.
Mall
here-
apartment?
Chris is
no,
still formulating.
Rhode Island.
He's the one.
I mean,
That's-
knock on wood, Rhode Island is untouched.
Yo, dude.
No, the
we had the
station
Station
fire.
Nightclub fire though.
Oh yeah,
Do you
but
remember
that's yeah. Because I
100
watched
100 people
Nexpo.
died.
I know. Nexpo, I did not. That's one of the things I wish I could unhear. Like, it's not even the footage. Like, a lot of these, like, I
They
don't
were
watch
traps.
snuff films and shit like that. But for
They were
the show, we
trapped.
would have to watch a lot of stuff.
It created I think that occurrence created legislation to change like laws where you can't have pyrotechnics indoors.
Yep.
And I remember, I only know this because my mom told me, but the night it happened, we drove past the station nightclub fire like hours before it happened. Me and my
Wow.
mom were going to Wendy's to get my fat ass some food. And
Wendy's is
Because
awesome.
little Chris was like, I
I
want
want Wendy's. Yeah, and we passed by it.
And when you passed by it, you looked at the window, you went, fire.
Yeah, and your
I was
mom-
like, something bad
No,
happen there.
you passed by and
I'm
your
going to
mom,
be eating my nuggets.
you
and
started
you're
to
on
cry.
fire.
Yeah,
you
and
were
I was
crying.
like, I want a fire baconator.
Yeah.
They
But
heard it wrong.
but now that building, it burned down, and now there's this like stone. There's like a memorial there with some stones and stuff. But I think it was 2002 or 4.
I didn't realize how recent
There
that
should
was.
be a
I thought it was
ghost
like
hunt.
70s
There
or
should be a
something.
ghost hunting team that goes to
Oh,
like the
man.
most fucked up,
They
horrific.
should.
Yeah.
They should. They were like, this is right where what was the name of the band? The White Sharks. I forget the name of the band that played. But yeah, that was Rhode Island's 9/11 was the station nightclub
Yeah.
fire.
But Rhode Island
happens.
is safe. I looked in the paper. I've been like, because like, hey, I'm a Rhode Islander now, so I get the paper, the free one, and I like
Providence
they have
Journal?
all the arrests. I think so.
Yeah.
It's the free one.
Yeah, I think
I think it's the Providence
I think it's
Journal or the
Providence Journal.
Post. I don't know. Maybe it's
Providence Journal is like the New York Times of Rhode Island.
that one. Sounds like you have to pay for it. Whatever free one they have at Dunkin' Donuts, I grab it, and they have arrests like or police activity and arrests. And on Wednesday of a couple weeks ago, there was like no reported arrest. I'm sure there were arrests.
Yeah.
But there was none like in this little bulletin.
Rhode
So I'm
Island
like,
is
they must
safe.
be. It is.
It's
still
Rhode
safe.
Island-
It is a
it's-
safe-
The homeless
is-
Well,
people
unless
are
you go to-
100% better than New York. Like
Oh yeah.
they're like cool.
They're I wouldn't say they're not as aggressive.
Compared to New York, I mean, like one I was passing by, no intention of giving money. I said 3 Hail Marys for him though, but he just went like this, and I just went,
Yeah.
and that's all he went. He didn't even like, hey, money.
Yeah, there's not many that are like that accost you and like are like,
Mhm.
because like I mean I've you let's just say there's not going to be a black guy fucking trying to shove a mixtape in your hand.
Yeah, oh
Like
that
in New
I fell
York.
for that like twice.
Yeah,
And you know what's messed up too? Now that I think about it, I was like 12.
yeah,
Or 12 and like 14. I
yeah.
think
It's
were the
gonna be
two.
$15.
Yeah, for a
and it's in your
child.
hands right now, so I need the money.
In New York,
was fucked.
Did you know that's
And
a
there was
thing?
there was absolute intimidation
What?
there too.
No, that's a thing. It's in New York and probably other places, but these vagrants or law-abiding
Rappers.
citizens,
they have names,
They'll
Chris.
they'll hand you a mixtape like very strongly.
Oh,
And-
Schultz is calling.
Oh, okay.
Is it an emergency? Let me
Yeah,
see.
just
Sorry, guys.
no worries. I
No, you're
apologize.
fine.
Anyways, yeah.
What else do we have written down there?
Let me see here.
Topics.
Un momento.
Sorry about
Interview,
that, guys.
early life. We got
No,
that.
it's cool, bro.
I can actually we can ask more about career stuff. And then the fun stuff. Yeah. So
How'd you get involved with Gavin McInnes? I'm curious.
like what was the
It's-
beginnings?
It's let me see. Okay, here's like a bullet point version. So
Okay. NDA.
and then you could ask me to expand. Oh no NDA, but it's I treasure all like the lead up to it. So I start like way before probably what's interesting, but I'll give you bullet points and then if you want me to expand them, I
yeah.
will. But I think it's all like really cool how this happened. So I was working at a sushi restaurant, working in the kitchen, and my coworkers were like Ecuadorian and Korean, and so like there was no like humor going on. It was like it would have to be slapstick, like oh I hit my toe, and
Yeah.
then like oh very fun.
Yeah.
Like there's not, and I like
Sushi
nuanced
restaurants.
humor.
Sushi restaurants. The foundation of sushi restaurants are Latinos
Mhm.
and Koreans.
And then not the Asian of the food that they're serving. Like
Yeah,
if
like,
it's a Japanese restaurant, the Koreans.
most sushi places are run by Koreans.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true. And they hate Japan.
And so it's ironic.
it is. But so that'd be like me with a. Never mind. Opening up a store that sells certain foods.
Yeah.
We get into maybe not the most tasteful foods, like
Yeah.
the most tasty foods. Maybe like a
Matzo.
soup. with like one thing in there. Just a soup, but like mostly soup, and then one like circular shape inside.
Okay.
Borscht.
Mushroom soup.
It's a Russian.
It's a mushroom
It's
soup.
a mushroom soup.
Yeah.
You know, where it's just one mushroom and then broth.
Yeah.
Anywho, that wasn't worth it. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
So yeah, Korean restaurant. But so to get my humor little kicks out, I would listen to like Opie and Anthony, like just all Opie and Anthony stuff. I discovered it by like maybe like listening to looking for like Louis C.K. interviews or something. And then I became like really a big fan of that. And then I started working at this other winery, and I saw one of the guys from Opie and Anthony. Just like at this place. It was like a winery thing, and I was cooking in that kitchen too. So I ran up to him and I got a picture with him. And then it's weird. It became real at that moment. I was like, oh, these are people that are like in the world. Like they're in New York.
Yeah,
like they're not far from
They're real
where I am.
people.
And so I was like, I didn't even do much like reaching out after this sort of like, oh wow, like these guys are out there. But I started Twitter shortly afterwards, and I did an impression of Pat Dixon, who was on Compound Media, and then Anthony liked it, Anthony Cumia from Opie and Anthony.
Yep.
And then I got invited in to do the Asian Pat Dixon, and then I just like kind of just kept going down there, like, you know, and it was about like a 2.5 hour commute from Hudson Valley, taking the trains, all the shit down to the city. I spent like $7,000 in like a period of like 3 years on just like food, travel, some hotels if I needed like an emergency stay. But it was a great time, but it was very gypsy like. And so essentially like Pat, you know, I was like working on his show, and he took me in and like allowed me to like do whatever creatively. And then also this came with the like learning the TriCaster, which is like the camera switcher.
Yeah.
Also the Adobe Suite. I got my dad to buy me a laptop. So I was essentially like interning there.
Yeah.
But like, you know, there's like 3 people that worked there, and then just me who kind of just kept showing up. And they trusted me to, you know, set up the studio, break it down, and edit stuff, produce stuff for the show.
And you already had somewhat of a background with like
No, I had not. I was just a musician, and
so you knew
that's it.
So you knew general audio stuff then.
Yeah, a little bit of audio stuff, I'd say. But and then I started, just like making videos, putting things together, editing, some After Effects, like kind of a well-rounded knowledge of Photoshop, Premiere, After Effects, whatever. So that allowed me, with all that stuff that I learned there, to be eligible to, you know, for Gavin when he was looking for a new guy, to be like, what about Ryan? And so it was a paying gig, and this is the first time like I was sinking tons of money going there. I was not getting paid to go there. It was just great.
Gavin already had a relationship with Anthony.
Yeah, because he was on Compound, and like I guest hosted Gavin's show like as fake Gavin too. I was like, "Hi, it's Gavin." I was like Asian Gavin. So he already like we knew each other, you know. But he had left Compound Media to work with CRTV and was getting paid a lot, and so his producer left, and he was like, "Let's just try you out." And then it was like a good fit, you know, and Pat was happy for me. He was like, you know, like you're making money now, you know, and so Pat's still, you know, like he's writing jokes for the Sam Hyde show now.
Nice.
So that guy's like a really close friend of mine, and if it wasn't a lot of the people that are involved in that, like if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't like be anywhere near here. But so then, you know, actually working with Gavin, that like kind of exploded my need to learn more about camera switching, technical directing, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So we moved like 3 times. 1, 2, 3. We moved 2 times. They were big moves. And each time we moved, we expanded the studio. And so I knew nothing about a lot of this stuff, but you just find out the hard way. And then we had to rig different sets. So we had like a 3 or 4 set studio. And then like managing that. And it was just the whole production was me and Gavin. And there was nobody else there. There was the guy building the site and doing all that stuff.
And this is like the
investor.
advent of censor TV happening.
So we were with Sarah TV, and then he got fired, essentially. We got fired when they merged with Glenn Beck's thing. Because I think he was too much of a liability, or the Proud Boys stuff was happening. So they were like, that's too much. I don't know what happened, but we were planning to move to Texas because that's where Glenn Beck's thing is. So we would be like working with Alex Stein right now or something if that went through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Gavin was trying to find like a home for his content sort of thing?
Yeah,
Like,
oh yeah. We had like nothing. We were booted from CRTV. We're like
Well-
nobody was paying us. He was paying me still though.
what was Gavin's bread and butter or platform, like digital platform before even all of that?
I think
like
he
streaming-
started on he did like a New York Radio Labs or something like that podcast. He did pretty good interviews with like Tucker Carlson and Ann Coulter and some other people, and then Anthony and him spoke about having a show on Anthony's network, and then that's how that. So
And
I think that might have been 2015.
But Gavin departed from Vice what in like 2007 or
I
something.
think it was like 2002, but I could be wrong. on
Oh,
that.
that's
I should
early.
know, but it was early, yeah. And then he created a like a marketing agency, I believe it was, or advertisement agency. And then he started doing a podcast. He started losing friends because of his more conservative views were starting to be a little more solidified. It happened to be right after 9/11. So that was actually another tragedy.
But Gavin has never really been like he was never really on the conspiracy theory side though, right? He's kind of like he's kind of like grounded in reality. He's not thinking of from what I've seen, he's not like
oh no,
he's not like a
where Alex Jones like goes that way, like he kind of just stays.
He's more of like a realist kind of.
Yeah, I think he what is it? There's some law or something like something's law where like the most simple explanation is probably it. So
yeah,
like the 9/11 stuff, I don't think he goes that far into, but he hears enough people saying it that he understands and like gives credence to it. I think that's where he is on that, for instance. But
because I know he's not in the same school of thought as somebody like Fuentes, who's like completely like anti-Semitism, like this direction. Gavin was more like
Gavin sort of
traditional. Yeah,
traditional like conservative, which is like conservatism and Zionism is like one and the same. That's why the pro-Palestine people will often be on the left. But it's a weird thing where the far left and the far right would agree that Israel is the issue. And so
it's very strange, especially now in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
Yeah, because it's almost like a unifying thing where a guy like Fuentes' stance on Israel is probably not too different from like Hassan Piker's. And it's not to say that it's a great unifier, but it is interesting that the horseshoeing there.
It is a huge horseshoe. It's strange.
What's interesting is like, so whether or not like point for point, who's right, who's wrong between a Zionist and an anti-Zionist, but the fact that the conversation basically can't happen is like eerie enough to want to like to be like, well, I need to like, what's the points here? And there's a lot of points towards Israel being no.
Yeah, and it's weird also because when we just did this recent tour, we had a this venue booked that's in this very progressive part of Pittsburgh, and like 3 days before the show is going to happen, they canceled our show at that venue because the Jewish Legion of whatever
Skanks.
in Pittsburgh.
The Jewish Legion of Skanks.
Yes. The Legion of Skanks, the Jewish Legion of Skanks. And apparently there's a lot of Jews in Pittsburgh. But they reached out to the brewery and was like, yo, you have the Sam Hyde guy coming at your I don't know if you guys know this, but you have the Sam Hyde guy coming, and he's a super anti-Semite. You need to cancel the show now. And the brewery had to make a statement saying, like, you know,
I saw that on Instagram.
The brewery made a statement saying we're not based.
Yeah, but it's a weird like
because they're probably pro-Palestine too. They're probably like stop the genocide.
Yeah, but they were pressured hard from this like Israeli like the article was posted on like the Pittsburgh Israeli Times or something like that, and they were, you know, so it's this weird thing where it's like, hey, we're pro-Palestine, but we also can't do racism towards, like, it's like this weird contradiction. Yeah, it's strange.
I would say there's contradictions really on both sides of like a conservative Zionist too. It's like, why do you care about Israel so much? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, why can't you? Like, it's weird on that side. It's also weird on we're pro-Palestine because they're brown essentially, or because they're realizing that there's atrocities
Because
there.
the Fox News people,
but they're also pro-Jew too.
the boomer Fox News watchers are like, well, we're pro-Israel because they're an ally of USA.
Yeah.
And, Palestine, they're Arabs, they're Muslims, they're, and
Right.
which can, like, traditionally, like, Fox News, regular conservatives are like, anti-Muslim. So, but at the same time, it's this weird, nebulous web of weirdness.
From a Catholic perspective, it's very clear and easy, but politically, it's a mess.
Yeah.
But, like, there's, for me, it's just like they're both in that situation of that war and stuff. Like, there's nobody. Both sides reject Jesus, and so there's not going to be a Christian or a graceful solution to that, because the morality of Christianity really is the foundation of the West and stuff. And I would say that it's odd, like Zionism has found its way into the hearts of like conservatives via, I believe, like Protestantism, which tends to look at Jews as their older brother, and like, oh, well, they practice stuff and they actually do their thing, and we just kind of believe, and church is optional.
Well, Judaism is essentially defunct because of the definitions of Christianity to begin with.
Yeah, yeah. Like when people.
Hold on.
Oh,
wait. Hello?
Not to get too political.
Okay, all right.
Not to get too
Yeah,
religious.
I'll let them know. Guys, that was Israel.
That's our
That was Israel. We have to go to the. We have to go to the Patreon.
We have to go to the Patreon. We got two. We got some people on.
They were late on that call.
I know. They just.
All right. We need a Patreon. They're gonna
Before we go, Ryan, shout out whatever socials.
Yes.
You want people to...
It would be Asian Pat Dixon on Twitter.
Yep.
I have. I just made an Instagram for the job here, so I can contact artists and stuff, and that's at or Dian Kilsu Reviva. Don't even try to. Actually, that's too complicated. Forget that.
I can put it on screen.
Oh, nice. So that, and then also I'm in a musicians group, and we just released like a compilation mixtape thing.
Nice.
So we meet like once a week for like, it's been years now. And so this is our second little mixtape. So everybody throws a song in, and it's called, if you look up Polyhymn Studios Mushroom Farm, you'll find that on YouTube. And it's pretty cool. I'm the second track, but listen to them all.
Send me all that details
we'll put
I'll
it in
put
the
on there.
description.
But anyways,
Just look in the description.
thank you guys so
MD.TV.
much. Follow Ryan on all those socials. We'll have them up here. And we are going to the Patreon where we're going to talk probably about fast food and stuff like that.
All this kind of stuff.
So-
Chicken jockey.
Chicken jockey.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Full episodes only on patreon.com/HK2podcast.